Tip number 2 is speed. Now for this one I've had to make some notes because there's some really good points in regards to this question. So when I say speeds, now the speed I'm talking to is getting to the market. Now lots of people, and I'm meeting people daily, lots of people are in an urgent rush to get that property on the market. And the reality is, if you've picked an agent that can take your pictures and have you on Rightmove within 24 hours, they are not spending enough time going through your marketing or creating a strategy in regards to your property to really maximise your results on that. Speed is so important, and I've got a few tips that I've written down here that will cover some of the main points you want to be aware of when it comes to slowing this process down and making sure that you pick the right agent the first time round. Now, point 1 I've put is don't rush the decision. Lots of people will have the agents round, they'll listen to their pitch, and they'll want to make a decision there and then. Realistically, sleep on it, have a think about it, look at some other bits which I'll go into in a second, but do not make that decision on the first day. Just sleep on it at least and then make that decision the following day. Having 3 agents round, listen to their pitch and whittle it down to 2 and ask them to come back. The reason I say this is because a lot of agents will come around and their pitch is perfect, their pitch is polished, their pitch has been from years of doing this, and they've got it down to an art, so their pitch is going to be perfect. But call 3 agents round, because 3 is a good variation. And when you call them 3 agents round, write down any questions you may have, whittle it down to your 2 contenders, and ask them to come back to answer them questions. Don't do it over the phone. It may be a little bit inconvenient. I understand you'll be taking a little bit more time out of your day, but ask them to come back one evening. Ask them to come back just for 20 minutes and just answer the questions you may have. You'll see the motivation from the agent and how much interest they have in that, but also the other part is that second visit is not orchestrated, it's not practiced, it's not normal, so there's not really a performance there. So you're going to see a little bit more realness to the person you're dealing with at that point. So that's a really good idea. Sleeping it before deciding, I've just covered that. Look for fact, not a pitch, and ask them to back up any claim with evidence. If there's no evidence, ignore it. Time and time again I'm seeing these agents say, we're the biggest in town, we're selling the most in town, we've got the market share. None of that results in actually getting you the result that you need. It's great having market share. Look at us, we're the biggest agent in town. Look at us, we're selling the most properties in town. So what? If you're selling all the properties 95% of the asking price, it's pretty pointless. So listen to what they've got to say. If they make any outlandish statements, if they make any comments about them being market share, or they're getting more than any other agent locally, or they're selling quicker than any other agent locally, ask them for evidence of this. If they can't provide evidence, the chances are it's just going to be a bit of a sales pitch. When it comes to the evidence, look for the natural source. Don't let the agent produce their own kind of graphs. Now, Rightmove has something in the back end where they can produce some pie charts, and it's very easy to kind of tinker with the settings and make yourself number one. So I'd say kind of ignore the usual Rightmove pie chart and statistics on this aspect. Ignore any pie charts that look like they've been done in-house. You want to be looking at websites like Get Agent, which independently review estate agents, and they kind of look at the performance of them agents. You're going to see some fact there, because that's a neutral source where you're going to really see what this agent is about and whether they cut the mustard, whether they're getting good percentage of the asking price in a reasonable period of time. So yeah, make sure you look for the original source. Make sure you look for the original source of that information. Once you've made the decision, call the agent back for a pre-marketing picture meeting and discuss what needs to be done via photos. So many times I discuss this with my clients, whereby we discuss what needs to be done before I come back and take the photos. I will never do photos on that meeting. The reason being is I'm there to explain about my business, explain how I can help that individual. I'm not there just to take pictures. And I think if an agent turns up with a camera ready to take pictures, it shows a level of ignorance and arrogance from their side of things, because they're just interested in getting it on the market as soon as possible. Now, getting the property perfect and getting it rushed on the market makes a huge difference. So what you want to do is call the agent back. Once you've chosen what agent you're going to go with, call them back, go through your house and see what items of furniture need to be moved. Could we move the sofa around to make this room look a little bit bigger? Could we hide away all of these personal little trinkets? Could we get a couple of boxes and declutter a little bit? Go through all of this with the agent before you have the photos done. So when you have the photos done, your home is show ready, so they look their very best when it comes to them pictures. Never just go with the agent you like the most. They may be the person with a great pitch, but look for the one that gets the best result. Now, I do meet people that have gone on with the market with other agents. Now, just a little fact for you, according to Rightmove, 52% of properties that are listed on Rightmove will sell with a second agent. So that means they're picking the wrong agent the first time around. Only 48% of people pick the right agent the first time, which I think is a shocking statistic. What I think this is a lot down to is that they pick an agent because they like the character they're dealing with. And as much as I think it's important to like that character, there is a massive picture here as to what's their performance like, what are they achieving on the asking price, because ultimately that is what's going to benefit your pocket. What is their performance like as an agency? What's their marketing like? What's their organisation like? What's their strategy like? How consistent have they been? What's the overall service been up until that point? And are they a nice person? Don't just pick an agent because they've given you a good pitch and they seem a nice person, because that doesn't always mean that they are. So there's my tips for speed and making sure you pick the right agent the first time round. Hopefully you find that helpful, and I look forward to the third instalment of our 12 tips to Christmas.